Hi, everyone. Well, I just finished a few seconds ago listening to Sail Away, Sweet Sister. And if you've seen that one, you saw how it moved me. And now, having done that, Vlad said, "You asked for it. We're going to do another one before we leave the studio here." So I am doing another Queen song today, and it is another Brian May piece entitled Save Me. So let's see what I have to read about it. Make sure that you check out my Coffee and Patreon pages if you want to see the offerings I have there. But let's just go straight to what's going on with this one. Brian May wrote Save Me when Mercury's relationship with American chef Joe Fanelli had just ended. During an interview for the radio show In the Studio with Redbeard, May stated, "I wrote Save Me. To cut a long story short, I wrote it about a friend, someone who was going through a bad time, and I imagined myself in their shoes, kind of telling the story. Someone whose relationship is totally effed up, and how sad that person was." Well, from what I know of Brian May's musical style and writing, I imagine he could do a pretty good job of imagining being in a situation like that. The song was recorded in 1979 and released in the UK on the 25th of January 1980, nearly 6 months prior to the release of the album. Save Me spent 6 weeks on the UK singles chart, peaking at number 11. Well, let's see how this one sounds. I guess I'm kind of excited for it.
It started off so well. Said we made a perfect pair. I clothed myself in your glory and your love. How I loved you, how I cried. Years of care and loyalty were nothing but a sham, it seems. Years will lie within the lie. I love you till I die. Save me, save me, save me. I can't face this life alone. Save me, save me, save me. I'm naked and I'm far from home. The slate will soon be clear. I'll erase the memories to start again with somebody new. Was it all wasted? All that love. I hang my head and I advertise a soul for sale or rent. I have no heart, I'm cold inside. I have no real intent. Save me, save me, save me. Can't face this life alone. Save me, save me,
That's an incredible piece of music. It's so well done, and well, Freddie sang it. Freddie sang it, and Brian wrote it, and what a an incredible pairing. I'm thinking about what Brian said. What Brian said, that he wrote it for Freddie, and he was trying to imagine how it was to be in that phase of life. And I'm also thinking about how I've listened to some of the music that Freddie sings, which didn't necessarily have a lot to do with Freddie's real life experience, and how Freddie is able to throw himself heart and soul into any scenario and convey it so perfectly with his voice. And as I'm listening to more and more of Brian May's own compositions, I'm thinking more and more that Brian May is capable of doing the same thing composition-wise. He's able to put himself into another person's shoes, or into a scenario, into an emotional state, and convey it musically so beautifully, perfectly, compellingly. What a pairing! What a pairing to have somebody who can write a piece of music so perfectly suited, and then to put a voice with it that, well, in this case, I suppose Freddie didn't have to work very hard to place himself in that zone, so to speak. But still, his delivery of it is incredible. I was really taken in by it. I didn't even pause anywhere along the way. So I feel like I should go back through and stop along the way and point out some of the things that were coming through in the music, because there is a lot of attention to detail in the design of the piece that it helps to make it be what it is. So let's just go back through it.
It started off so well. Said we made a perfect pair.
Listen to what is being sung here.
Lose myself.
It's such a common line, isn't it? Almost cliche to say it started off so well. We were a perfect pair. It's the way every story, nearly every story, begins, that ends with breakup or other destruction to the relationship. It started off so well. They said we made a perfect pair. And the music just simply carries the line. And in the background, all we have is the piano. So it's a sort of ballad-like beginning. Just a sweet, soothing melody with some gentle piano accompaniment surging and growing underneath. That's all there is.
It started off so well. Said we made a perfect pair. I clothed myself in your glory and your love. How I loved you.
And as I'm listening to Freddie singing this, I could say also that it's Freddie's natural, innate musicality, and he sings a lot of music like this, but here it fits so well, doesn't it? The way that he carries a line. I guess everybody knew that Freddie had to sing this. Of course, it was written for him, but still, the way Freddie can grow a line of music and let it begin and grow and carry it along and develop the sound and the resonance and the impetus till it peaks at a certain point, and then it begins to fall off again. in this case, it's more than just great interpretive craft. It's more than just the standard, what I tell my students, the rainbow arch of a phrase, where you begin, you let it rise to the peak, and you let it fall. Yes, it is true. That is the standard, most common phrase shape. But this is more than just that, because it's also painting what is happening in the lyrics. It started off so well. They said we made a perfect pair. I clothed myself in your glory and your love. How I loved you. You can hear where the music naturally leans into how I loved you. Or this, it started off so well. It's as if the music is portraying the start as it begins to grow, and then the voice expands and lets the vine grow and the flowers open, and everything starts to tumble out in abundance. That is how it started, and that's how it went for a while.
It started off so well. Said we made a perfect pair. I clothed myself.
And here's where it's just blooming abundant.
How I loved you, how I cried.
And as it falls back down, how I cried. That is the moment that the story tells what happened after that incredible period of time. How I cried.
How I cried. Years of care.
And the piano underneath. This is simply listen to what's happening here.
I clothed myself in your glory and your love. How I loved you, how I cried. Years of care.
It's the bass note pulsing. Pulse, pulse, bump, 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 ding, 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 bump, bump. Kind of a bit like a heartbeat, kind of like that's all you hear in that moment. Suddenly you're alone and you've cried, and now there's just the silence with your beating heart as everything has been taken from you that you lived for.
Years of care and loyalty were nothing but a sham, it seems. The years belie within the lie. I love you till I die.
Wonderful bass there. I love you till I die. The bass is supporting that way down underneath. Looking at the lyrics, I have to say, what a wordsmith. What a wordsmith.
I love you till I die. Sing, sing, sing.
Desperation.
I can't face this life alone. Sing, sing, sing. I'm naked and I'm far from home. The slate will soon be clear.
To place this chorus, save me, say with these powerful chords that simply shadow the same rhythm. Save me, save me, save me. it's as if you hear the voice crying out, and the music is helping it do that. The music is doing nothing but help the voice cry out for save me, just begging, pleading, calling, save me. Basically, I'm drowning in my loneliness here and in my heartbreak. I need help. Save me.
And I'm far from home. The slate will soon.
And this little drum. It's as if it's emphasizing what was just said. And this is a moment where I'm going to say understatement is one of the most powerful techniques in music that you can use sometimes. Because instead of just a screaming, desperate, clawing little moment where the drums are crashing and banging and guitar is doing whatever it does, no, all we have is and that's all we need. Save me, save me, save me. And you hear an echo. Save me, save me, save me. That's all we need.
I'm naked and I'm far from home. The slate will soon.
And it's a great setup for this next line. The slate will soon be clean. In other words, it's clearing everything away. Just that ch, ch, ch. Everything is being cleared away. There's almost nothing left. It's a great use of space and time in this piece of music.
And I'm far from home. The slate will soon be clean. I'll erase
the memories.
To start again with somebody new. Was it all wasted? All that love.
All that love! Was it all wasted? All that love, and the guitar just throws itself in. All that love, as if the guitar is the representation of the outpouring of love that this person, clearly, this person never fell out of love, we could say. It happened on the other side. And so this person is the one who's really suffering in this moment because they truly loved and they truly believed that this relationship was built on love forever. And it's as if the entire world has been taken away from them. Everything has been pulled out from under their feet. There's nothing left, and they're trying to figure out how to pick up the pieces and go on. And they're mature enough to know that, yes, I will pick myself up. The slate will be wiped clean. I'm not going to drown here forever. But still, save me. And all that love, was it all wasted? That's a question we can't help but ask, especially if we've been in a loving relationship that has lasted a long time. And then suddenly it comes to an end and you think, was it a waste? Should I have not loved? Should I have not spent my years loving? Should I have not invested myself like that? I truly believed it. And I always come back to the line, it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. But sometimes the losing is incredibly brutal, especially when the losing happens and you realize suddenly that there wasn't what you believed in that relationship. It's one thing to lose love at death, to have it taken from you that way. It's another thing to wake up one day and realize, wow, I've spent all my years pouring myself into this relationship, and suddenly I realize there's nothing there on the other side. What have I been doing? Wasting my time and my energy? Wasting my life? Personally, I still believe it's better to love than not. But let's get back to the song.
Somebody new, was it all wasted? All that love. I hang my head and I advertise a soul for sale or rent.
And the feeling that comes after such
I
a
have no heart.
loss.
I'm cold inside. I have no real intent.
Somebody craving love, they're still lost after losing this love, and at the same time they can't go on without it. They can't seem to pick themselves up. They realize, I would take anybody. I would take anybody. I can hang my head and just sell myself, advertise myself. For sale, for rent, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But something, anybody, anything.
I'm cold inside. I have no real intent. Save me.
Interesting to notice the way this builds up this time. The first time, I love you till I die. And there was this great moment of silence. And then out of nowhere, save me. Fabulous use of silence. And now this time, I have no real intent, and then this clattering, banging build up, and still calling out, save me.
Have no real intent. Save me, save me, save me.
And the chorus.
Places I will go. Save, save. Oh, I'm naked and I'm far.
And this line, I'm naked and I'm far from home. Is this synth sounds that are being brought in here? If so, it's a perfect use of the synthesizer. It's Queen using everything at their fingertips in the best possible way. No resting place, no place to sit down and be comfortable.
Each night I cry, I still believe the lie. I love you till I die.
And this is so incredible, the way he takes the first save me and the second save me and the lead up to it. I'm talking about not just when the first word enters, but the bar or two before it. The first one with that grand silence. The second one with the build up and the clattering. And now this one.
I love you till I die.
And you think silence. It's as if the heart is just torn open, spread everywhere. And now there's back and forth between the chorus and the solo voice. And back. we're left feeling like we've just been through an incredible emotional moment. Perhaps a little bit cleansed. You know, when you have a really good cry and then you come out the other side and you wipe the tears away, you kind of give yourself a minute to breathe, let your heart calm down a bit. And then there's this feeling of, it was a sort of a cleansing experience. There's something, a weight was lifted in the process. And, well, there's this term that gets thrown around a lot these days. It's very trendy, emotional intelligence. But I have to say that I feel like applying this term to Brian May is not a passing fad. I think I would say that Brian May, at least in his musical writing, is incredibly emotionally intelligent. He knows how to experience. He knows how to be open, to be vulnerable, and at the same time, not be frivolous about it, not be careless. Everything that comes out of this is so sincere, so real. We can feel ourselves in this moment. Perhaps even if you've never been through a situation like that, you can still feel yourself in this moment. And we come out the other side of this piece of music and feel like, wow, that was a journey. That was an experience. Well, I feel like saying, like asking, did Freddie have someone to save him in that moment? Did he find somebody? I don't know, but at least he must have had a good cry. And I think with a friend like Brian May, you can't have been too far lost.